Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today. I was wondering if you could just give us a bit of background, how you went from being a student ambassador in 2005 to today, where you run Feed, this incredible program helping to solve the world's most intractable problem, hunger.
Yeah, it really happened, very organically. Essentially, as a student, when I was a sophomore in college, I got a call from the UN World Food Program, and they were looking to start a Students Fighting World Hunger campaign. And they wanted a student to actually go with them and see their operations, and then go around the country and tell other students about, the World Food Program. So I did that, and I felt very inspired by what I saw happening. There are many amazing programs that are really reaching like the poorest of the poor around the world. Yet I also felt a frustration because I really didn't know what I myself could do to really make a change, beyond talking about it, to really make change happen and help these amazing people I had met on my trips. And I also didn't know what to tell other young people to do. And so out of that frustration is where I came up with the idea for the initial feed bag. And for every feed bag sold, it feeds one child in school for 1 year for the first feed bag. So really making, world hunger, which is this very massive and overwhelming issue, very bite-sized and tangible. And that's kind of been the feed model ever since. So we've been now around for 6 years, and we sell, over 50 different products, mainly bags. And we've been able to give nearly 60 million school meals through the purchase of these products.
I know when you were talking at the Forbes Summit earlier, you said that a lot of times when you're having low days, low moments, it's actually women who you feel are your biggest supporters. And you also said that it's women who actually buy, I think you said 80% of your products. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you felt that support, how that's materialized over the years, and how women are, now the emerging philanthropists? Mm-hmm.
Sure. I mean, in so many different ways. For one, in that we're selling bags and accessories, women are really our biggest customers. So Feed would not be in business if it were not for women customers out there who want to be empathetic and want to give back through their consumer dollars. And for me personally, I've been very lucky to have mentors that are women who have, a lot more business experience and have been very helpful in terms of making different connections or helping me think through different issues of growing a small business. One of whom is here today, Carol Hockman. So I've been very fortunate as well. My team is primarily, we have one man, the rest of us are women. So I'm surrounded by this kind of women fierce energy all day, which is wonderful. So I attribute a lot of Feed success to women.
Could you maybe talk a little bit about your aha moment? Perhaps you could tell that story.
Sure, yeah. Like I said, I had taken a few trips at that point with the World Food Program. I was a junior in college at this point, and I was actually studying abroad in Australia. And in Australia, the culture there is to use these green bags. Everyone has these kind of ugly green bags, but they're reusable bags, so no one is using plastic bags. They're just sort of ahead of the curve in terms of the whole, anti-plastic bag movement. And I was studying there and thinking, through how I could really make an impact with the World Food Program. And it just kind of struck me like, okay, I could design a bag, a reusable bag, that would hopefully, be environmental, but more importantly, build in the cost to feed a child in school for a year, because it costs so little to do so much. So, why not build that cost into the price of a bag? And at the same time, I was also interested in the fashion industry and design, and I was taking summer courses and internships during my summers in college, studying design. So it was kind of the convergence of all these. But I remember actually the physical sidewalk I was walking on in Australia, walking my dog, getting like a fruit shake, and I was like, oh, a bag. And then I started, mulling it over, and I wanted the bag to look like the bags of food rations I saw being distributed around the world, because I like that kind of rustic aesthetic. I thought that was really powerful, and I thought also it would, be an extra link to connecting people to the cause. So kind of all came together from that initial moment, and obviously we continue to evolve and grow and evolve our product offering, but that was sort of the initial aha moment.
And can you tell me a little bit about what would you say has been your greatest success to date? Was there a point where you thought, right, this is it, I'm doing it, I'm making a difference?
I feel like every plateau you get to, there's the next mountain to climb. So I don't know if I've ever sort of sat back and said, we've made it. For me, definitely the first really validating moment, it was a woman on, I think it was Madison Avenue, Midtown, New York, carrying a feed bag. like a total stranger. And she must have, at that point, we were just selling on Amazon.com. We had just started. And literally, I think I screamed. I mean, to see a stranger carrying your product, to know it's found its way out in the world, somehow she either bought it or a friend gave it to her, but she was carrying it and representing, and still that gets to me. You know, just the other day, walking home last night, I saw a girl in a cool bar with a feed bag, and I was like, oh, it's so cool. So that's still one of those greatest kind of reinforcing moments for me.
And if you could give a piece of advice, there's a lot of millennials out there, young women who, you know, perhaps aren't 100% happy with their day job, don't really know what they're going to do, want to take that step, become an entrepreneur, become a philanthropist, work in a nonprofit. What would be your advice for women who are thinking, how do I get there? How do I take that leap?
You know, I think I've been asked that quite a bit, and I don't have an answer in that. I think everyone's journey is different. I would say, you know, you're young, why not try something you love? If you fail, it may evolve into something else that may be even better than what you had initially thought of. So I'm big about sort of just jump in and try. But at the same time, you know, look around. If someone else is doing something very similar, maybe try to partner with that person or work with that person. You know, I don't think starting a business or starting a nonprofit is for everyone. It takes a lot of tireless work, so you really have to be ready for that. Yeah, so I would say, you know, really it has to come from the idea and the passion. It can't just be like, I want to start something. It has to be like, I feel so strongly about X, Y, or Z, or there's some new angle or take on X, Y, and Z that I can do. That's where it starts from.